This is Kenrick Cleveland. For over 45 years, I've taught influence and persuasion to top leaders, negotiators, salespeople, and those wishing to bring influence skills into their lives more powerfully. So, in this video, I'm going to teach you the ultimate four-step system for how to improve your communication skills. So, listen up. Before I get started, though, take a quick second and click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to make sure you continue to get all of these teachings that I'm going to be bringing you. And hey, it's free and it really does help the channel. So I appreciate it if you take just a quick second. And speaking of free, in the description below, you'll see our links to our school groups. The first one is absolutely free, so check it out. All right, let's talk about communication. And I don't mean the fluffy stuff, not be a good listener or use I statements, none of that kind of garbage. I'm talking about communication as a strategic skill, the thing that lets you influence without pressure, connect without performing, and lead without forcing anything. So, over the years, after teaching thousands of people influence and persuasion for all the kinds of things like negotiation and selling and leadership, NLP, Ericksonian hypnosis, I mean, you name it, I boiled communication down to four steps. Do these four things. And let me tell you something, your communications are going to become clearer. Your conversations are going to become cleaner. You'll become more powerful and you'll also become a whole lot more effective. So let's get into it. Step one, clarify the frame before you speak. Now, most people start talking way too soon. They jump into content without ever setting the frame. So here's the truth. If you don't set the frame, the other person will. And usually, get this, you won't like the one that they set. So before you open your mouth, ask yourself three things. Number one, what's the outcome you want? Number two, what emotional state do I want them in? And number three, who has the frame, or let's call it the steering wheel when this begins? You or them? Now, communication isn't about what you say. It's about the world the conversation takes place inside. Think about that. That's so profound. Let me give you an example. If you walk into a negotiation, and you're thinking, I hope they agree with me. Well, that's one frame, not a very good one, but it's one frame. If you walk in thinking, let's find the best path forward together, that's a good one. And it's certainly a different one, isn't it? And if you walk in thinking, they're lucky to have me in this conversation, that's yet another, maybe not as good as the one before. Frames shape everything, they decide whose reality leads. When your frame is clean and aligned with your outcome, your communication becomes effortless. The other person feels your certainty before you even speak. And framing has so much to do with transmitting that certainty, lots of other things. But I mean, this is just a core, powerful concept. All right, step two, use precision listening to control the flow. Now, people think communication is about talking well. Nope. Talking well is the reward you get for listening well, but not the kind of listening where you just hear words. You want to listen at three levels. The first one is the words they choose. The second one is the structure underneath the words. And the third one is the motive driving the structure. And you can learn to hear this. When someone says, for example, I'm just not sure I can do this, I want you to listen deeper. What are they really saying? Is it fear of failure? Fear of looking foolish? Are they maybe overwhelmed, or is there a lack of clarity? Is it possibly a test? Is it a bid for reassurance? I mean, every one of those needs a different response. And here's the trick: people reveal themselves in their contradictions. When they say, for example, I want this, but I'm not ready. I need help, but not that kind of help. I'm committed, but only when I feel like it. Well, those contradictions show you where influence lives. They zero right into it. It's super powerful. Precision listening is where you start guiding the conversation without ever needing to push. You reflect what matters, redirect what doesn't, and you do it all without any resistance. Listening is the power position. And hey, as soon as you get done with this video, check out the description for those links to our school group. I think you'll really like it. And there's even a free one. Go check it out. All right, let's go to step 3. Influence through language patterns. So let's get into a little bit of NLP and Ericksonian magic here, shall we? Language doesn't just describe reality. Language defines reality. And if you can define reality, you can guide it. This is where we use patterns like cause and effect. For example, if you take this step, then that becomes easier. Or presuppositions. For example, when you think about this from a different angle, or embedded commands, you can start noticing how calm you feel now. Or temporal shifts. An example, as you look back on this later. Now, these are gentle, they're subtle. Most people never notice them for what they really are, but they feel them. Your job is not to push someone into an agreement. That just perpetuates the stereotype of a pushy salesman or a needy negotiator or a leader that doesn't quite get it. Your job is to set up the path so that their mind walks itself there. Man, I mean, let me tell you, that is so profound. And that's what influence really is. Let me give you a small example. A client says, I don't know if I'm ready. And you respond, of course, most people aren't sure at first, but the moment they get clarity on what they actually want, decision making becomes straightforward. Now, notice what happened. You didn't argue, you didn't push, you reframed the problem from readiness to clarity. And you see how simple it is? Now the mind goes to clarity, and decisions follow clarity. By the way, there was a subtle pattern in there that I'm wondering if you caught. What this all really is influence without pressure. All right. Step 4, install agreement and close the loop. Now, this is the step where real mastery begins to show up. Great communicators don't leave conversations open-ended. They guide someone right to the moment where agreement feels natural and inevitable. And you can do this with pacing and leading. You're thinking it through. You want to make the best choice, and you're starting to see the direction this is heading. See how that works? Or let me give you a no-based example, okay? Would it be crazy to think this might be exactly what solves the problem you've been fighting with? That gets a no, but the no means yes. It really means safety. It means control. It means the wall drops and the mind can commit easily. I actually like no based statements like this better than yes based ones. And finally, you anchor decisions to identity and future outcomes. So when you follow through on this, you start becoming the person who makes strong, clear choices for their future. You see how that works? So people don't follow instructions, they follow identity always. And once the agreement is there, close the loop like this. So here's what we'll do next. You see? It's clear, it's simple, it's one move. People commit when there's no friction, just like I've been showing you. So, bringing it all together, let me pull this into one flow for you. You clarify the frame, you listen with precision, you influence through language, and you install agreement and close the loop. That's the four-step system. It applies whether you're leading, selling, parenting, which I happen to love, negotiating, or coaching. You know, the situations change, the stakes often change, the language changes, but the underlying human psychology stays the same. And once you understand how people process meaning, emotion, and influence, you can adopt it really powerfully. What happens is you begin to let your own communication flow to any context effortlessly. As you bring this into your own reality and use it effectively and master this, that's what begins to happen. That's what your reality starts to become. So practice this system, and your communication gets cleaner, smoother, more confident, and certainly more powerful and effective. You know what? Most people never learn this. They just hope communication works out. How many salespeople just wish and hope they're just going to get on that call and they hope the person's going to lay down and buy? But it doesn't always work out that way. But you're not most people. You're here to master this. Let me know what you think about this below. Any comments or questions, just let me know. And I look forward to seeing you in our school group. Talk soon.